to section 3.2 review process. Basically, in this section, we will discuss how the review process works. So, the review process can be formal or informal. Informal, we have documented procedure, documented results of review, and then a team participation is involved. On the contrary, informal reviews are the reviews which not following defined process. There will not be any formal documented output as such. So that is informal review. And let's look at 3.2.1 work product review process. So basically, any review will have planning, first phase, initiating a review, and then individual review, issue communication and analysis, and fixing of reports. And the idea is catching the defects and fixing them. So generally it will involve planning, initiating a review, actual review, issue communication and analysis, and fixing and reporting. Right now, in planning phase, what all we do? In planning phase, what we do is we define the scope and purpose, what is the actual scope and what is the purpose of review, and we also estimate effort, right, and how much effort will be involved, and we check which review process can be followed. Now later we'll see there are different kinds of review that can be followed. So identifying review process, and we also define roles, activities, and checklists. Okay, and then we select the appropriate people for review in planning, and entry and exit criteria for formal review types. If we are following any inspection kind of a formal review process, we also define entry and exit criteria. That's planning phase. And in initiating phase, okay, in the initiating phase, we describe work product, distribute the work product, basically either physically or electronically. If we are doing a code review, we can give code inspection packet, either printouts or electronically, and also scope, objective, process, and roles are defined during initiating review. And if anybody has any queries, they are answered. This is second phase, initiating a review. And third is individual review. In individual review, we review all or part of the product, right? If small chunks, we review the work product, and we also note potential defects, okay, and recommendations if any, and the possible questions that we may have. And once that is done, the next phase is issue communication and analysis. So in this phase, what we do is we actually communicate the identified defects, right? After review, what all defects you find, you communicate it to the appropriate stakeholders and analyze potential defects that may arise in future. Okay, and then evaluating review findings, right? Whether the work product can be accepted with minor modification, whether it can be accepted with major changes, and whether it should be rejected. So disposition is done during issue communication and analysis, and fixing and reporting is the final step of work product review process. So here what you do is, in fixing and reporting, actual fixing of defects is done, and then recording updated status of defects, right? Where the defect status stands, and most important, matrices are gathered, which can help in process improvement by the management, and accepting the work product when exit criteria is reached. You also decide whether to accept the work product. Next is roles and responsibilities in formal review. So there will be authors involved, management involved, moderators, review leaders, and reviewers and scribe, right? So generally, as we were discussing roles and responsibilities in formal review, Basically, authors will be there, who are the creators of the work product, and they also fix the defects. And management is involved. Why management? They are the ones who plan the review, review the execution, budget and time allocation they do, and monitoring the review process. And if there is any deviation, they exercise control. Okay, so management are involved, and then moderator, next role is moderators. Basically, moderators are the ones who ensure effective review meetings, and they do moderation wherever necessary. Review leader is the one who is having overall responsibility of the review, and decides who will be involved, and a review leader organizes the review. Reviewers are basically subject matter experts. Basically persons working on project, ideally. So they participate as reviewers, and then identify potential defects in work product. So reviewers, they identify potential defects in work product, and may present different product perspectives, right? Reviewers can be of different type, reviewers can be testers, developers, okay, users, operators, or usability experts. All participate in review, and then they give their comments. Okay. Then we also have something called a role called recorder or scribe. So the recorder or scribe is the one who collects the potential defects. So whatever defects you notice during review process, he is the one or she is the one who collects the potential defects and records new potential defects. Right? Future, what kind of potential defects could arise, and the scribe also records decision of review meeting. Okay. Now let's look at 3.2.3 review types. So, review types can be informal review, right? We were talking about peer review or pairing, right? So, informal review, and objective is to find potential defects, and which is quite common in agile development. And then review type can be walkthrough, the purpose is to find defects, consider alternatives, and your walkthroughs can be informal or formal. Next one is review type can be technical review. So in technical review, the main idea is gaining consensus. So if you are coming up with the idea, like basically taking the whole of the team into confidence, basically gaining consensus and detecting potential defects. So reviewers in technical review are technical peers or technical experts. And fourth and most important review type is inspection, which is mostly followed in most of the CMMI 5 companies. So what happens is the idea in inspection is preventing future defects, and you most importantly you do root cause analysis. What resulted basically in this defect and how it can be eliminated in future. So detecting defects, and the inspections are very formal in nature, based on rules and checklists. Okay, and individual preparation before meeting is mandatory. Okay, so generally individual prepares and comes for the meeting. Reviewers are generally peers of the authors or experts, and scribe is mandatory. The role that we were talking about, everything done during inspection is noted, and material, metrics are collected. So basically, as we were talking about, what is cost of quality, what is cost of poor quality, all those things are derived on the basis of these matrices, which in turn help management in improving the maturity model. Okay. And applying review techniques, review techniques can be ad hoc in nature, test based, scenario and dry runs, or perspective based. Okay, so the review techniques can be, as we were telling, ad hoc. not following to any predefined guideline, okay, or checklist based, where you are very formal. Beforehand, you would have decided, how the review should happen, and scenario and dry runs basically. Structured guidelines are given to reviewers in scenario and dry runs, and perspective based, basically, perspective based review technique is the one where you bring in different kind of reviewers, right? Not all developers. So basically, it could be end users, designers, testers, or operation people, so that the different viewpoints you can collect. Next is a success factor of review. So success factor for review, what makes the review successful? Objectives should be clear, okay, and appropriate review type is followed. We discussed about review types, right? Informal review, walkthrough, technical review, inspection, which one to be followed. So that is decided, and then checklists that you use for reviews are up to date, and you don't review large chunk of uh, documents or artifacts in one go. Uh, generally, people spend adequate time for preparation and adequate notices given. Okay, and reviewers are integrated in company's quality and test policies. So basically, the quality and our test practices, test policies are very clear to the reviewers. Okay. And these are the things which can lead to success of a review. In addition to that, choosing right set of people, okay, and evaluating the testers' role, okay, and not seeing them as just mere testers, involving testers from very beginning phase, and dedicated time and attention for review. So you just don't take it as yet another part of a process. Dedicated time and attention is given to a review. Defects found are acknowledged and appreciated. So if any defect is found, instead of circumventing it and saying no, no, it's not a defect, defects found should be acknowledged and appreciated. This is mostly from author side. Author should acknowledge it and appreciate it, and meeting should be well managed. Okay, meeting should be well managed, and most important, there should be culture of learning and process improvement. So one should know, learning is a lifelong learning process, and ultimately the whole idea is to improve the process. So if these things are clear, a review process will be successful. So that was section 3.2. Let's meet in next section. Thank you.